In this video, we're going to look at the problem a large wrench is used to turn a bolt. Two plumbers apply forces indicated below in the diagram. What is the net torque the wrench applies to the bolt? Alright, so we have two plumbers. One is exerting a force of 100 newtons at 0.5 meters from the rotation point. And the other plumber is applying a 200 newton force, but it's at an angle of 75 degrees. And then we're 1 meter away from the rotation point. Alright, since there are two forces being applied, that means I need to sum two torques. So torque net is going to equal torque 1 plus torque 2. So we're going to have force 1 times R1 plus force 2. And in this case, we have to split that force into components. So we need the y component, since that is the component that is perpendicular to our lever arm here. So I'm going to use the sine of theta to do that. All right, so next as I start plugging numbers in, I need to decide whether the force is going to be positive or negative. Or I should say the torque is positive or negative. So this force applies a force upward, which is going to cause the wrench to move counterclockwise, so that's going to be positive. But torque 2 here is pushing down, which is going to cause it to move clockwise, so that's going to end up being negative. So we have to keep that in mind as we are doing this. All right, so we're going to take our 100 newtons times the 0.5 meters plus 200 newtons times the sine of 75 degrees times the 1 meter. Remember, we decided this was a negative torque. All right, so 100 times 0.5 is going to be 50 Newton meters. I have to get out my calculator to do the second part, since I can't do sines in my head. So we're going to do 200 times sine of 75 times the 1 meter. So we're going to get 193 Newton meters. So I can do a negative 193 plus 50, and that's going to give me a net torque of 143 newtons. And the bolt is going to end up being turned clockwise because the negative side wins out. So this means we're turning clockwise, or we're continuing to rotate around this way.